Okay, so Becky made this post talking about dog diggity. If I was joining a sorority, nobody would know, but there would be times, my homie. And then she posts her picture in, her Zeta clothes. Okay, now I'm gonna have to be the one to talk about this. I'm gonna have to be the one to call it out because clearly y'all don't be doing what y'all be supposed to be doing, right? So we're gonna get right into this, and I'm gonna share my opinions on white people joining the D9. First of all, let me make it very clear that I am not a member of the Divine Nine, and I know some goofies are about to come comment, well, golly gee, it seems like only the GDIs are upset. I'm in the Divine Nine, and I don't mind Becky being a Zeta. Anyway, goofball. So, the Divine Nine is the 9 historically black fraternities and sororities on a lot of college campuses, right? Now, take a moment you take a moment to think about why would the Divine Nine have been created? Why did we need these black sororities and fraternities? Think through it for a second on your own, okay? We had to create the Divine Nine because white people would not allow us to join their fraternities and sororities. The same way we had to create HBCUs because white people would not allow us to attend their colleges and universities, right? So the Divine Nine was created because we were not allowed to join white people's organizations. Now, y'all probably thinking, Flower Tower, who gives a who? You're not even in a D9, so why would you care? It's the fact that I have spoken on YouTube a number of times about how there is never a safe space ever anywhere for black people, okay? So right now we're talking about the D9, but this conversation transcends fraternities and sororities. It transcends colleges and universities. It transcends everything. Anytime black people come together and make something for us where we can be around each other and within our culture, it immediately gets hijacked all of the time, 100% of the time. Let me make a couple of things clear, okay? Because hold up, it's not even just non-black people who are the issue here. Like, of course, Becky is an obvious issue, right? But let me make something else clear. The D9 was created by African Americans. So if you do not know, African Americans are descended from transatlantic slavery in the United States of America, okay? So Africans and Caribbeans know they are not African American, okay? D9 organizations are African American organizations. It's not for any nigga, anywhere organizations, whatever, right? And I'm bringing this up for a reason. A couple years ago, like 1 or 2 years ago, there was a video made by the content creator I Am Eloho, and she was talking about African Takeover Day at HBCUs. Now, mind you, this African Takeover Day occurred in February during Black History Month, okay? So there was all this discourse. Africans were like, oh, it's Black History Month. We're black. It's about us too. And HBCUs are historically black colleges and universities. So therefore us too. So and so and so, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Let me make something abundantly clear. Something we all know, but y'all just be playing dumb. So, I'm going to keep repeating myself because, why not, right? Let me make something abundantly clear. The term black is often used interchangeably with the ethnicity African American. Now, to make it clear, African American does not mean an African person who was born here and raised by African parents. It's not about first generation immigrants. No, African Americans are descended from transatlantic slavery in the United States of America. Again, if that ain't you, then you ain't African American, okay? So black is often used interchangeably with the ethnicity African American, okay? That is why you hear things like Black History Month and historically black colleges and universities, right? They're referring to African Americans, not any nigga anywhere, okay? Until very recently, Africans and Caribbeans did not even identify as black. They say, I know black eye African, I know black eye Caribbean, right? And this is my thing. This is what I will acknowledge. Black can be used to refer to a race, right? Anybody descended from Africa for the most part, right? But it can also be used to refer to that ethnicity, okay? And a lot of times, Africans and Caribbeans are very disingenuous when they hear black being used to refer to our ethnicity. They pretend that we're just referring to the race and that it includes them, right? Now, I'm talking about all this for a reason, okay? Because it doesn't just stop at Becky being a Zeta, right? There is a very clear undertaking happening, right? It's very clear that a lot of different groups of people have this thought that black people, whether they talking about racially or ethnically, don't deserve to have anything to ourselves. And let me elaborate a little bit. You can see it racially, definitely. You see it racially, and I recorded a video recently about it. I put it up here, right? But you notice that whenever black people have a place for us, and I'm talking about black racially, so that does include Africans and Caribbeans, right? You notice that non-black people are like, oh, I have to be a part of that, right? If it's like a black dating app, you'll see that non-black people are on that dating app. If it's a black college, you'll see non-black people there. If it's a black organization, you will see non-black people there, right? But it also happens ethnically, okay? So it happens within the, like the black community between different ethnicities, okay? For example, Kai Cenat, or whatever his name is, he just said that African Americans don't have a culture. When he grew up in New York City or something, surrounded by African Americans and our rich culture. Like, baby, have you ever heard of the Harlem Renaissance? Because I'm sure you have, right? So he is balls deep in our culture, masquerading as an African American. But then he turns around and says that we don't have a culture. Because again, it's this mentality of African Americans don't deserve to have shit, right? So again, this happens racially with non-black people saying, oh, black people in general don't deserve to have shit. But then it happens within, the black race umbrella. Other groups of black people will say, oh, African Americans don't deserve to have shit. I deserve to be in all your shit, but you can't be in none of mine, though. It's insane because these people be all in our shit, but then at the same time tell us we ain't got shit though, okay? So when it come to non-black people, they be all in our culture, but then they tell us, oh, we don't have a culture. It's just gang activity. Our vernacular is just, oh, you not smart enough to speak white people English, etc., etc., etc. But then you turn around and they all in the culture, trying to hip hop, rap, and dance, and so and so and so. These are the same folks telling us that we don't have a culture. It's just ignorant, so and so, yada, 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 right? You see it racially, but then you also see it ethnically because Africans and Caribbeans do that same thing. Oh, y'all don't have a culture. It's just ghetto and so and so and so and yada, yada, yada. But then you turn around and they at HBCUs talking about, oh, well, historically black. Well, we're black too. That includes us. They in the D9. They in all of our shit, right? It's crazy because it's like, of course, we know that there's a hierarchy like based on race, right? We know that black people are at the bottom of the racial hierarchy. But then when you put it under a microscope and you look a little more deeply at it and you look at just the black people part of it, you notice that within black people, African Americans are at the bottom of the ethnic hierarchy, right? Now, I'm not saying that means we don't have culture or we the least whatever, because we all know that's not the motherfucking case. African Americans have the most popping culture in the world, quite clearly, right? But it's the fact that people stay trying to humble us and humiliate us. That's what I'm talking about, right? And let me talk about it on the racial aspect too. When I say that black people are at the bottom of the racial hierarchy, I'm not saying that anybody is better than us or anything like that. What I'm saying is that the rest of the world is constantly attempting to humble and humiliate us. It's kind of crazy the parallels that Africans and Caribbeans have with non-black people, because it's like they all attempting to humble black or specifically African American people all of the time. How you gonna tell me I don't have no culture, I ain't shit, I'm just uneducated, yada yada yada, so and so and so, but you constantly balls deep in my culture, constantly in the mix, constantly talking about how you should be included? That doesn't make any sense.